I've written on your YouTube page, like I was the guy a few weeks ago who was talking about, writing down your my beliefs, and I was like overwhelmed by that assignment. Like, I want you to write down all your beliefs. And it's like, oh my God, that's gonna take up my entire life. Like, so
But first of all, I would like for you to say welcome. And I'm really, really happy that you're here. And I'm happy that you're doing the curriculum. I find it interesting that you immediately assume that people are further along than you, that you are a little bit behind everybody else. Is that a sensation that is well known to you?
well, I mean, it's familiar in this regard. I mean, in this context, it certainly is. And yeah, no, I mean, we'll say that at least for sure. I mean, I don't
I'm,
know. Yeah,
I'm
possibly.
yeah, I'm asking you the question because that is a belief.
Hmm.
That is a belief.
So I
So
should write it down.
you should write it down exactly. Exactly. It's about all those things that we assume ourselves to be without even questioning it, you know? About the all the experiences you had with, do I raise my hand? No, I don't want to raise my hand. I don't want to draw any attention to myself. I really want to raise my hand and say, no, I don't want to raise my hand. That fall back and forth that happening, Um, that it has a foundation and a belief about something. Michael is too much. Michael is speaking up. Michael don't know what he's talking about. Michael, whatever. There's an underlying belief. Michael is behind. Everybody's ahead of him. Michael, you shouldn't talk when you don't know what you want to say. There's so many beliefs in that. Um, and it just makes life so bloody exhausting, you know?
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
yeah. So it's really amazing just to become aware of all those things. You don't need to change anything. You don't need to stop any of the beliefs. You don't need to do anything specific. This is all about, just noticing what is happening. How are you moving in life? What choices are you seemingly making based on those beliefs? Because the moment that you become aware of them, they absolutely lose their power. When you no longer have an idea that there is a separate self called Michael that can be too much or sound stupid or ask the wrong question or taking up too much time, or when that belief is no longer there, do you see how freeing that would be?
Yeah, certainly. No, I mean, uh, right now I'm definitely noticing a lot of discomfort,
Yeah.
so um
So let's just stay with that one. Where
mhm.
do you feel the discomfort? How does it feel in your body? You have clammy hands.
Yeah, exactly. Clammy hands, just
You have
you
tension in your
know,
shoulders. You can see that. You have tension in your neck.
yeah, like my heart was just pounding.
Yeah.
I just feel energy in my shoulders going throughout my whole body, like an electric charge, like
Yeah. So can you just stay with that? Can you be in a body that has a pounding heart and clammy hands and electric charge in the shoulders, and just sit and just breathe with me here? So the only thing we do right now is just sit and breathe and be in a space where all these people are here with you, sitting and breathing and feeling the tension in the body, and just allowing you the space to experience what you're experiencing. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to, it doesn't have to stop or to end or to change or anything. It's just about allowing what is right now to be there. And what happens in the body when you do that?
um I mean, it feels like it feels like there's a goal, like that I'm looking for a goal or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Isn't that amazing that even when I'm saying just allowing what is, then you immediately put up a goal. There's a right and a wrong, you know? And really be careful about not choosing the wrong one. You want to pick the right one. You want to go to the right place. You want to do what you think I expect of you to do.
Hmm.
Isn't it crazy? And all that is happening without you even being aware of it. So all I would like for you to do is just to become aware of all of those things, because there's a feedback loop that is happening. You have a tension in the body that is going up to a thought that is telling you something about you. For example, I'm like Suni just talked about, I'm not good enough, it's my fault, or taking up too much space, or Glenda's idea of, she can save everyone and she's actually the good one and they're going to see it. That goes up to a thought about something. And that thought is giving a signal to the body that gives a contraction. So, for example, if you have like the idea of, I want to do the right thing, I need to do the right thing, then that thought gives a contraction into the solar plexus, like, oh, like you're really holding your breath and trying to do your best, do your best, do your best. And that physical sensation gives another feedback up to the thought. And that's how it's just circling around. And none of that is happening in reality. In reality, it's just this. It's just silence. It's like having the TV on in another room, and in your case, it's a drama that is being played out on the TV screen, you know, about this guy that can do the wrong thing and he's trying to do all the right things for everybody to be happy and for him not taking up too much space. That is the drama going on in the TV in the other room. While you and I are just sitting in here and feeling what is going on in the body. So it's not really noticing that split that you have. And we tend to believe the thoughts, you know? We tend, but and I think it's something about because we see and smell and taste and hear in this area, we also tend to take the thoughts as being more important or more real. But if you really, really look into them, they can't be, because you can't control your thoughts. You can't decide what to think of. If I ask you now to really think about something and then I say elephant, you're no longer thinking of what you really wanted to think of. You're now thinking of an elephant. I just placed a picture in your mind of an elephant. So thoughts are completely random, just coming and going without your control until something comes up that the ego recognizes, like Suni was experiencing with it being her fault. Then a thought comes up. Now I use Suni as an example. The thought comes up, it's her fault, and the ego goes, "Ooh, I know this one."
Mhm.
And then she's really, going into that. It's the same with you, you know? There are thoughts that are repetitive throughout the day, every single day, that you keep coming back to as if they're true, but it's only because the ego recognizes them and going, "Ooh, this is great." And
Yeah,
and
I have some right now.
yeah, yeah, go on. Go on. What is it about?
Well, it's almost like I am it's reiterating that I'm a beginner, that I don't that I'm behind, that you guys are farther along
Yeah,
or something like that, that I am just a basic, like guy, yeah,
yeah,
way at the bottom of the process.
yeah. I would like all of you that are here right now to raise your hands if you feel that you got everything under control. No, if you got everything under control, raise your hand. Show Michael who of you got everything under control so he can see that he really is at the bottom of it. And everybody who are raising your hand, you're the ones that know.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Yeah. It's such a delusion, it's what I call the plus one game that the ego does. It's always, no matter how much you do, it's always gonna add more. You could have done more, you could have done it better, could have done it higher, faster, more. It's never ending. It's never ending. and really seeing through that delusion. Because in this moment, right now, now that moment is past. Now I want you to focus on this moment right now. That moment has now passed. So it's this moment right now. It happens so quick that the moment that you start really to focus on the moment I'm asking you to focus on, it has already gone.
There's
And
no time for thinking.
exactly, there's no time for thinking. Exactly. And the ego cannot play that game because the ego is always about something in the future or in the past. It's not about now ever.
Mm.
So when you keep coming back to now and now and now, and then ask yourself, what is missing in this moment right now? Well, nothing. It just ended. It's gone now. It's this moment. What is missing right now? Well, nothing. That ended too. It could not have been any different than it was. And that moment didn't need anything. There was nothing that needed to be added or subtracted from that moment. It was perfect just like it was. But just because we have a mind that gives us the delusion of time, time is just a fantasy, it's just a delusion, it doesn't exist. But because we have that feeling of time, we also have a feeling of an improvement that can happen over time. But if life just is this moment and this moment and this moment, there's not enough time for an improvement. When is that supposed to happen? And how can that moment be improved from what it already is? So whenever you have a thought in the next week, remember we also meet on Tuesday in the inquiry group. I don't know if you know about that. In the members area, I'm gonna put the link in for the meeting we have on Tuesday. We have a meeting
Thanks.
every week.
That's at 2 p.m. Eastern, yeah. I'm on the East Coast US.
No, it's the same time as this.
Uh,
It's 12 o'clock Eastern as well.
thanks.
Uh,
Thanks.
so really see if you can notice if it's possible to change this moment in any way.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can feel myself just wanting to escape right now,
Yeah.
just because of the discomfort of doing this conversation
Mm.
right here with you, with everyone here. I could really feel wanting to not be here. Um, the other thing I wanted to say was I haven't signed up for the Liberation Unleashed, or and then there's the Vince group, like maybe
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So like, so yeah, that's something I'm considering, and
yeah.
I'm a little, I'm a little scared. I don't know, I'm a little scared about it, but things are just kind of happening, so I don't know what's gonna happen.
What is it you're scared about? Do you know? Have you formulated that? It's just
Um,
the discomfort.
no, I don't know. I mean, I think that like it's part of it is that like maybe feeling not ready or something, or that I'm not serious enough, or like I'm not going to be committed enough, or they're going to tell me that I'm not up for this or something, you know?
Yeah, yeah. It's a great um escape for the ego to pull up. You know that somebody else that knows about non-self, know that there's no separate self here, is going to judge another person and say that you are not up to par. I mean, that's not even possible. That's not even possible. I think instead of looking into that diversion, it's fine to look into the diversion. I want to say that it's fine to stay with the discomfort, and I would really invite you to do that. That when you feel that discomfort, let it grow big in the body. For example, right now when you're sitting, allow it to be there. Do not try to push it away in any way, and then detach the thought about discomfort and feel, how does it feel to be in a body? Can you be in a body that feels like it does right now?
Mhm.
And then you just allow that. You don't need to do anything about it. You're just allowing to sit here with clammy hands, tension in your shoulder, wanting to go invisible if that was even possible, and just allow that to be there. Can you be in a body where this is present right now? And then you just allow that. Yeah.
Um, that's definitely, I mean, 100%. And I have some wonderful people helping me and working with me.
Yeah.
Um, it's a little bit sometimes challenging, yeah, like identifying sensations. And for me, and I worry a little bit about like that I am like so in my head that like I feel things just in my head almost. Like it feels like it's in my mind. Like
Yeah.
the sensations are not so much in the body as they are. Like I can feel something like between my heart and my head, but a lot of times the sensations that I'm feeling and just like the discomfort is like coming from my head. Yeah.
Okay. So, but then stay with that. So
Mm.
that discomfort that you feel in your head, can you explain it to me? How does it feel?
Yeah. I mean, I've described it like as like a headache and or like a weight, and so yeah, it's like it's sort of
It's
this
like
headache is
It's like
there.
a headache weight that is pushing down on you. Is it pushing down over the eyes, or is it pushing that one in? Is it like needles, or is it more like heavy, or how does it feel?
I mean, it feels like pressure behind the eyes, and I can feel it a lot, like in the back of my head and just kind of neck, like
Yeah.
shoulders, like pushing down, like in the back.
Yeah. So if you detach the idea of headache, because that's just a label we put on, just like strawberry, we choose to call that a headache and not a strawberry. It's just a label. You don't need it, but you just sit with the sensation in the body. So it's like something that you feel in the back of your head, and it's going down to your neck and down to the beginning of your back, and just sit and feel how that feels and breathe into that. Do you notice that it changes when you just sit and allow it to be? The moment you detach a label, things will change. When you have a label that says, I have a headache, you focus on the label, you focus on the post-it. I want you to detach the post-it. So now it's no longer a headache, it's a sensation in the areas you just described. If you just sit and breathe, do you feel how with every single breath, that sensation change?
Yeah, and I mean, I can recognize that from other times
There
too,
you
just
go.
doing this exact thing.
There you go. There you go. So that means that now we're starting to find the common denominator, that this is an experience that you have had before. You might start to know that when you had this sensation that we used to call a headache, we don't call it that anymore, but it's this sensation, that might be part of the feedback loop of you feeling that you're not adequate, of you feeling that you haven't got anything clever to say, that you're not up on par with the rest of them. It might actually be this is the sensation for that feeling, for that thought about what this is.
Mm.
So explore that. Explore how that comes and goes. Explore what sensory experiences you have anywhere that are attached with thoughts. And the moment you detach the thought, notice how that sensation changes, because nothing, it's impermanence. Nothing ever stays the same. It's only when we have a post-it on it that it looks the same. When I say strawberry, that's a post-it. Everybody now have a mental picture of a strawberry because that's the post-it. It's not a strawberry they're seeing the post-it. So when you detach the post-it of headache, detach that, then something completely else is going to surface. And that is what we're really talking about.
Excellent.
Yeah. I can warmly recommend you Vince's group. Vince is wonderful. He has a tendency of putting people on the spot, which I think would be super, super challenging for you.
I
Uh,
mean,
you're
I'm
fine with that?
I'm brave.
You're brave.
Try to be. I raised my hand, didn't I?
You did. You did. You did. And you're
Okay.
here. And you're here. Exactly. I think it's a really good idea to do the first feta while you are in Vince's group because his group is really good at seeing through self.
Hmm.
Noticing where is that Michael that is nervous? Where is that repetitive self that keeps getting the same pain, that keeps getting the same fluttery feeling, that keeps having the repetitive thoughts about being inadequate? Where is that persona? Because that is tied in with that delusion about time. There needs to be a sequential, then, now, and will be for that even to be a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's great. Yeah, I will definitely.
So the last thing I want to say to you is that really notice the part about that you only have five senses.
Mhm.
In your direct experience, things can only happen in five places: the seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. That's the only thing that is happening right now. Everything, those five things, they then have a thought attached to them. So notice how much is those five things and how much is a thought about it. And remove the thought, go back to that thing: seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. And
Yeah.
that is what is happening right now.
Yeah, I mean that's great.
Good.
And
Good.
that's like, yeah, you could just do that all the time.
All the time. All the time. Yes.
So
All
that's plenty to for me to work with, I think.
absolutely. Absolutely. And then get a notebook and write down. I know I'm a huge fan of that. Get a notebook. Good boy. So happy to see that. It's beautiful.
Oh,
Beautiful.
oh yeah,
Um,
I've got pages. I've got pages.
good.
Lots of
Good. I love it. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. Because what you're gonna see is that a lot of the things that you write down, first of all, you're gonna notice how repetitive it is. Um,
absolutely.
absolutely. And the
I
second,
wasn't expecting that, but yeah.
pardon?
I wasn't really expecting that. Like I was telling you, I thought it would just be, just nonstop belief after belief, but it's like a lot of the same stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The ego is not that inventive. It's a copy paste most of the time.
Well, I'm gonna have plenty more questions going forward, so I'll let you.
I'm looking forward to that. And then remember we're here again on Tuesday. So you got Vince tomorrow and Sunday and then the group on Tuesday. You got enough groups to go to.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Beautiful. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.